Hello and welcome to African Living Abroad. I am Jamhuri. I am here to share my international experiences, build bridges between cultures with the hope of making the world a better place. I consider myself a social observer, a commentator of social events, an interpreter, and a storyteller. Today, I'm going to share with you one of Mother Nature's secrets and lessons that she taught me a few days ago. This is a park that I usually come to, and there are some heavy things that I'm facing this week. And a few days ago, a guide that I subscribed to sent me a message and said, "Go to nature and you'll find your answer there." So I came here. I didn't know what to expect. But that day was windy, and I observed the trees, and it's a fall, so wind is very prevalent. And the leaves were being shaken, and the branches were being shaken. And I looked at the tree trunks, and they were not moving. They were firm, rooted on the ground. But the leaves were being blown off, the branches were being shaken. And then my lesson came right there. It told me that we are like that tree. And in times like this, in 2021, we are being shaken by all kinds of situations. We are being put under pressure. And there's a reason for that. And also we're being tested. And like that tree trunk, and these trees that you see behind me, very, very strong trunks. Even though they're bent a bit, they don't move when the leaves move, when the branches move. And I was asked to look at myself. What is keeping me sane and strong in times like this, when we are being pushed around by all kinds of news, all kinds of ideas, all kinds of people that believe something different than what we believe, or when we believe something that others don't believe. And I'm being challenged to look at my principles, what I believe, what am I really at the core? Because I would say I've been coming to this park for about 10 years in every kind of season. And I've never seen, other than 2 branches that broke during a storm. I was quite surprised because these trees look very, very strong. Even though some may have thin trunks, they don't move when the wind comes. And those 2 branches that broke, I asked myself at that time, what did they not have that all these other trunks had? And my only conclusion was they may have been weak in their core. And after many times of being shaken, the core finally broke. And so I feel that today we're being asked to look at our principles, to look at our core beliefs, and to really ask ourselves, what do we believe when the wind of life comes at us? And on that day, the other lesson I heard was, even though the tree stands very strong and its branches and leaves get shaken, that wind is gonna pass. It's gonna pass. And that was so encouraging to me, because today there is no wind. The wind is not blowing every day. And so is life. We are not being shaken every day. We have moments of being shaken, and we have moments of calmness. And these forces of calmness and storms, actually, that is what life is about. We are being tested. How far can we rise? And I think the challenges we are facing in 2021 is to cause us to rise. And I feel that I've risen in some ways, but when I feel that I want to rest now, and then another challenge comes, and I get pushed again, challenged to rise. That is what life is about. Growth, growth, growth. And so I want to ask you really, in the past 3 years that the world has been challenged, have you grown? And have your principles been tested? And have you stood firm Or have you been shaken and blown from every news that you hear, every idea that you hear, every other people that come into your life and tell you all kinds of fears? I feel that this is a time we need to protect ourselves, because there are winds also that come from people who feel insecure, who feel afraid. And fear is another force that has impacted us these 3 years. Fear is a force. And if we look at fear also as a power or a force that can push us to our growth and our maturity, then we don't have to be afraid. So I think that we need to really recognize what is pushing us. What is pushing us? And how can we stand? How is our faith? Who do we trust? Who do we listen to? Because I feel too that we need to choose the people we surround ourselves with. There are people that are very negative. There are people in panic mode constantly. And I feel the same thing. There are people who their core is not solid. And they get shaken easily by this, by that news, by this thing. And they feed constantly on negative news as their special diet. And then they dish that to the world, spread it to the world. What do you want to be known for? What kind of influence are you in these tough times? What channel are you? A channel of fear? A channel of fear? A channel of panic and anxiety? I'm very, very grateful for my spiritual teachers that have taught me something very, very important. And that is the duality in life. For instance, where there is sadness, there is joy. Where there is life, there is death. Where there is sunshine, like you can see here, there is also shade. I am standing on the shade. And right there in the center is a line between the light and the shade. And these forces coexist in everything. And so if I can challenge you to look at these difficult times in 2021, today is October 4th. It's a Monday. And the week is just going to unfold. And we don't know what the news will bring us. We don't know what is going to shake us. We don't know what kind of storm is going to shake us. Will the rain come? Will a storm come? Will strong heat come? We don't know. But I ask you, what is your core? What is your core? What are your principles? Are you going to be willing to stand firm? Or are you going to be running and be swayed here and there and take your negative energy to other people? What channel are you for? Are you a channel of peace, a channel of joy, a channel of encouragement? What are you like in your own home? Because if you get shaken in your own house, and especially as mothers, and then the whole home is chaotic, what are you going to choose? What do you feed on? What is your diet? How do you do self-care? How do you spend your time? These are really deep, deep questions that we need to ask ourselves. And I feel that this year we are being challenged to look within us. I think that we are all being approached by God, by nature, there are lessons to be taught for us to rise above what we're used to. And it's amazing. I know that personally I have been challenged very much. I know, and I wish I enjoy challenges, yes, but there are some I cannot really bear. But it's amazing that every time I'm given a lesson. And please, I want to encourage you, when you're feeling that you don't have anything to support you, know people around you. Get to know yourself and go out to nature like this, because nature is truly abundant and it has so much lessons for us. And I realize that the things that nature goes through, we go through that ourselves. But the problem is we have separated ourselves so much to the point that we are disconnected and we just live our lives easy and take shortcuts. Nature really is so powerful, more powerful than us human beings. These trees here, they stand outside in all seasons. and they get beat by all kinds. Those are their challenges, but they stand up. And whatever comes at them, they go through that. And they survive it. But for us, we run right away to safety. We find ways to support ourselves. And but truly, let's get to know ourselves. And I want to encourage you to be a channel of peace, to be a channel of encouragement, to be a channel of positivity, and to know yourself real good, real good. And please do not spread negativity around. It is very painful. It is very disruptive. And know where you get your source of knowledge, and be open to all kinds of knowledge and information, and you can compare them all, and you will be given the answer to the questions you are seeking. I want to leave you with a challenge that I leave every time, and that is, what are you called to do? Have you discovered yourself these 3 years? What are you really about? And what is your contribution to society, to the people around you, to the world? Sometimes, these days, I feel that we have to stand on our own 2 feet. All those crutches really have to fall, and we have to contribute to society and to humanity, and we are covered. I feel that through my challenges, even speaking these heavy truths or tough truths, I feel covered, I feel encouraged, and after I have spoken like this, I feel very light. I feel very light, and I get confirmations that yes, I passed my test. So I will continue to do my work to share all these challenges with the hope that humanity really rises and wake up and discover themselves, because there is so much about us, and we've spent decades and decades not knowing who we are. And now we are told, hello, this is who you are. This is your potential. Now rise and pick it up. And there is no rising without you putting on the work. It is so much work. It can be a very lonely journey. But there are many, many people who have to go through these challenges and pick up their calling and move forward. So many have gone before us. And a lot of things, and it might cost you something. Definitely count the cost and accept that cost. You know what? This journey is not for cowards. The cowardice in you will be shaken and transmuted into strength. So believe me when I tell you this, because I have survived. I have survived, and I'm so grateful. I feel so fulfilled doing what I'm doing, and I wish you all the best in your journey, in your struggles, in doing what you love to do best. Rise up, rise up, rise up in your spirit. Until next time, bye.